Hello, guys. Welcome to the Love and Laugh Joycast. My name is John Peters. I have my fellow comedians, Ed, Med, and Cha. Good evening, fellow comedians.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
Good to
Yeah.
have you. Did you guys see the introduction? My favorite picture of the whole thing is the Chazilla picture.
I love that one. See my big mouth. I said the picture's too small, so you're like made it.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Why is it so small?
I know. That was
I,
great.
I'm going to have to do an animation of Chazilla in New York City. Oh, I just had a
Anyway,
vision.
what we wanted to say to the audience is that, well, John, Ed, and myself, we did a podcast years ago, and it was unsuccessful, just like this. But we're trying harder, and we're trying different things, and so we're going to ask listeners if they'd like to come on, through this StreamYard and do their own bit, 5 minute, 5 to 10 minutes, clean, of course. And then if we have a contest, and whoever wins gets a week full of their picture in the introduction. So we're going to see that. Now, I just want to demonstrate some things that we can do, or someone else who can do, maybe a professional, or maybe just your lay person. As you go on stage, you don't do this. Okay, you got to memorize it. But you know what? I control this right now. So, I mean, that's just one of the ways we can do it. And I want to just show you how you can do it with ease. If you don't feel like you want to memorize everything, you can do it by notes. So I have an old bit here, and so I'd like to see how it goes, and if anyone wants to chime in, not you guys, the audience, and let me know. All right, so here, I love the man in uniform, the man in brown, the UPS guy. What a hunk! And then I'm going to look at my pictures. I mean, right here, and but he couldn't. But he couldn't deliver. His promise of marriage. So that's why I joined the army. I became a whack. Oh, did I tell you? I was in the medical field, and some soldiers would come in with eternal bleeding, and I would hand them to have to swallow a Band-Aid. So that was one of the things that we did. And also, it was really interesting. You see these soldiers, big guys, who are afraid of needles. So I came up with something to help alleviate that fear. Right before I gave the injection, I turned my head. So, and I don't know how many people have been in basic training, but if you've been married, it's the same thing. And I remember the rifle range, and I was such a bad shot there that they had to put bowling bumpers between me and the other soldiers. And I don't know if anyone knows these, the Claymore mines. You have to face it towards the enemy. If you don't, you'll get blown up. So the military put in bold print. This we put a face, foot forward. So they show you the direction towards enemy. That's what it would be, towards enemy. And but wouldn't you know, leave it up to the military to put that warning on both sides. So I don't know. And then as National Guard, we had to do a lot of gas training. No comment there, right, please. And you can feel it. I mean, the eye from the gas, your eyes watered, your knees knocked, and you felt nauseous. Wait a minute. No, that was me reciting my marriage vows. That won't go. So I want to also talk about family. Family is interesting. So, I mean, with people, coming in, they can talk about family, get a little bit about family, anything military or just everyday life. And so I'm going to do family now. So I'm going to say what's true. My mother's German. She's born in Germany, and she's part Italian. And my dad belongs to the peaceful tribe of the Cherokee. And so, wow, that turned out, okay, the German in me wants to start a war. The Cherokee in me wants to prevent a war, and the Italian, The Italian side, they switch sides. So no wonder I have a multiple personality disorder. But the blonde side of me says not all my personalities have disorders. And I remember my dad telling me a lot of different stories, what have you. But they got married during World War II, hence World War III. And so being German, it's very very difficult. And if they do say "I love you," it's like "Ich liebe dich." I said, "Whoa!" I mean, it's like ready, aim, fire. So you don't want that in the German situation. All right, so I'm going to leave it. You really wouldn't end it that way for the audience, but you can end it however you want to. I'm just going to let it dangle. If anyone wants to add on to it, go right ahead.
Yay! Good job.
Yeah. I'll take that. Yes.
I want to hear that ich bin,
Yeah,
whatever you said.
Oh yeah, ich liebe dich. I mean, that's I love you, and it's
Is
like,
it really?
that's scary. That's scary.
They
Yeah.
spit on each other when they said that.
Oh,
You
definitely.
know?
Oh, definitely. And they don't have a personality. They're not even funny Germans, but you don't want to say that. You don't want to say that. But
Right.
I could go into this thing though. That
Okay.
my mother, right before bed, she tells stories, and she would she would tell stories, and she would turn fairy tales into scary tales. And by the time I was 10, 10 years old, I knew 15 ways to kidnap Hansel and Gretel. So I mean, I couldn't fall asleep unless I was scared to death. The
Oh my
stranger,
God.
the stranger danger thing. But my mother told me that it wasn't the Americans that came up with the idea first of putting pictures of missing children on milk cartons. It was the Germans, but it put pictures on missing children on beer bottles. So I mean, hey, that makes sense, right?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I grew up thinking the St. Pauli girl was a missing child. So there you go with that. Okay, so then I did 10 minutes. You think I did 10 minutes, John?
No, I think that was 5, if that.
5? Yeah. Okay. But that's what's good, because if you're funny and show it. And even if you have, some people don't want to do it because they have to do memory, but just take the challenge. You can have your notes there. The audience can have their notes here, look at it. And then once you realize that you are funny, you get more confidence, and maybe more confidence in memorizing. So,
Amen. Very good. Yeah. Well, that's a good example to our listening audience, who right now is Chip. Our friend Chip is watching. Hi, Chip. If you want to do comedy, this is a place for you to come and do 5 minutes of clean comedy, and there'll be some kind of contest. And with the grand prize, as Cha just outlined, is you get your face on our introduction
for a week, right?
For a week, that's either a prize or a penalty. We're not quite sure. And maybe if you're really good, we'll put you on a beer bottle, but that's down the line.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Cha. That was very good. We appreciate that. I wanted to share tonight, if that's okay, and I hope so, because I'm running the show here. So
the show, boss.
I'll just mute you if you disagree with me. But I wanted to share about my dad. I don't think I ever shared with you guys about my dad. My dad used to live with us for some years when he was older. Then he took a fall, and so we had to actually put him in a nursing home, which sounds like it was a bad thing, but it taught me something about my dad I didn't know. My dad was a player. I had no clue. His name was Calvin Coolidge Peters, and he put the cool into Coolidge, I guarantee you. He was Cool Cat Cal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was. And see, what was so cool about him is he played the piano at the nursing home rec center, the rec room that they had. And it turns out those golden-haired grannies loved piano players. He would tickle those ivories and tickle their fancies. It was hilarious. And my dad had the look, too. He had that really thin, pencil-thin mustache, that really cool piano player mustache. My dad was kind of like an AARP rock star. He was kind of like, I don't know, what would you call him? A Golden Girls gigolo. He was a chick magnet. And those old dames would get excited and throw out their bloomers. Then they throw out their hips. It was really funny to watch. It was amazing.
And throw out their teeth.
They throw out their teeth, their hips, And I really saw how much the chicks dug my dad in the nursing home. One day I was wheeling him down the hallway in his wheelchair, and this sweet old lady's walking by in a walker. She stops, leans over, and says, "Hi, Cal." My dad didn't say anything. He just went like this. Just wait here. I gotta do this. Just did this. Kind of like the Pope giving indulgences. That was it. That's how cool my dad was. He was awesome. And he had eyelids that kind of sagged, so he only had like slits that he could look out. So it made you think that he wasn't paying attention.
Mhm.
Oh, he was. Dad was cagey. He was plotting the next thing he wanted me to do.
Mhm.
And I remember he said to me, he said, "Someday, Johnny, and that day may never come, I'm going to ask you to do a service for me." See, my dad was kind of like, he was bent over. He looked like Don Vito Corleone, the Godfather, right?
Mhm.
Well, that day did come. He called me on the phone and he said this. He said, "Johnny, I'm going to take one of the ladies out and I need you to drive us." I freaked. It was so creepy. I felt like a parent wanting to take their teenage son and girlfriend out to the movies.
Yeah.
Talk about a role reversal. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I refused to do it, guys. I refused,
Mhm.
which turned out to be a good thing because the lady that he had in mind was actually in her 30s, happily married, and had 3 children.
Oh,
That can happen.
Well, Dad was a little confused, bless his heart. And growing up, my dad really was not an affectionate father. But I'm thankful that before he died, I was able to hug him and tell him I love him.
Right.
Now Dad's in heaven, playing the piano for the angels,
Mhm.
using his halo as an ashtray, and smoking a cool. Play it again, Dad. I miss you. That's my dad, Calvin. Really cool, Peters.
Oh.
So I wanted to share that. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Ed, you got some comedy for us here?
well, I was, this is going to be a combination of the old and the new. Some I shared before, but today I started thinking about the song, The First Noel, and it said, where it says, "On a cold winter's night that was so deep." But then it dawned on me, nobody really knows what time of year Jesus is born. What if he was born in the summertime?
Mhm.
Imagine that. If some historian were to dig up a fact that proved that he was born in the summer, we're going to have to rewrite some of these songs, aren't we? Instead of Winter Wonderland or On a Cold Winter's Night that was so deep, it's going to be like On a Muggy Summer Night that was so hot. And the heat was on. And speaking of the heat, I have my thermostat. This is for real. At 76 degrees, and the AC is on in December.
Wow.
So with that in mind, it is the perfect time for me to share the parody that I wrote 9 years ago, and I shared it with Pete O'Shea on my first radio show.
Okay.
Instead of "Let It Snow," it's called "We Don't Care." It depicts this one I have memorized, but it depicts Christmas in the South. And
Okay.
I'll speak the words. I'm not much of a singer. My singing is worse than my comedy. My singing is so bad the inmates would yell for lethal injection.
Same thing.
Oh, all right, Joe. Don't
get me started. Don't get me started.
It's too
Your
late.
lips are moving. Your lips are moving. Don't get me started. Go ahead.
Right.
I should let go, right?
Yeah.
Well, the song, instead of "Let Us Know," the title is "We Don't Care." It goes, "Oh, the temperature outside is rising. In the South, that's not surprising. But since we have central air, we don't care. We don't care. We don't care. Doesn't look like it will cool. So we'll swim in our indoor pool. As long as we have central air, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care. When we finally get our bill and see how much energy we've used, along with the increase in rates, we will start to feel abused. The house is starting to cool down, and the AC makes a nice sound. By the way, mine's on now. As long as we have central air, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care.
All right, Ed, that was really good, and we do care. We do
Yeah,
care.
I say call security. I mean, that was like, what do you think?
You know, that is the best I've ever heard Ed sing.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It was the best. I didn't even hear any dogs howling. It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm howling. Get me out of here.
We have a comment here from our good friend Chip Faust. He says, "When peas fall from heaven, we will have peas on earth. Your dad is shooting peas at you from heaven." And it was 60 up here today in December, and up here in Pennsylvania, 60 degrees. How about that?
How about that? I bet it feels warm. I bet it feels warm, doesn't it?
It does. I really like that bit. I like both your bit, and this is fun. I think we need to do more comedy on our comedy show.
Yeah.
Well, what's Ed doing here then?
Oh.
Oh.
What am I doing here?
Okay, yeah, you first. Time's up.
So, to our listening audience, this is what we're showing you is an example of what you should never ever do in public, but you can do on our show because this is a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Although we are broadcasting this live on Facebook, so you could lose a lot of friends on. Right now, you're being unfriended on Facebook.
I gotta tell you, it's like with being friended and unfriended. Being unfriended is unfriended. What that's a word, huh? Is worse than a divorce. I mean, yes, that's it. My feelings are hurt. My feelings are hurt.
They always tell you, they give you a notice that so-and-so accepted your friendship, but they ought to tell you who my friend this goes down. I don't know who unfriended me and for what reason.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I'm a passive aggressive unfriender. I won't unfriend you. I'll hide you for 30 days. Because some people will go on a political rant all of a sudden. I unfriend those guys at a drop of a hat. Pick them up in 30 days. If they're off the political rant, I'll let them stay. If not, bam, another 30 days in unfriend prison.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, Ed, how many days is 30 days?
How many days is 30 days? What do you mean?
He's pondering it. I love this.
It's 30 days.
Very good.
1, 2.
3.
So listen, guys, I'm very excited. Please keep in prayer. I have a comedy coffee house tomorrow night, and I am going to do that. Part of my bit is that dad bit I just did, and I'm also going to tell a joke. And I would like to give you a sneak preview in our audience of a joke that I'm going to do tomorrow. What do you think? You ready?
What do you think, Ed? Yeah.
Okay. This is actually in cartoon form. So here we go.
Wow.
I was telling my friend I just saw a kid riding a bike and making it stand on its back tire.
Oh!
My friend said, "Wheelie?" I said, "Exactly."
Oh, really?
Come on. This is high class comedy. Now, here's one other one. This was a special assignment from Ed the Med. We'll put this up. Ed, I'm going to have you read it, okay?
Sure. Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo. He does that same bit every week. It stinks. You need a rider.
I love that.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh. I would never.
I'm your
I would never use that broom. I need it for transportation. I would never. That's the first time I'm seeing that.
I'm your friend.
Yeah, I know.
Based on a true story of 8 years ago when she ripped into my YouTube showcase and tore into my inner being, and then told me that she was my friend.
All I said was you stunk.
All you said. No, that was not all you said. I wish that was all you said.
No,
When I had my MRI 2 weeks ago, I said, "Where did that stick come from?" I said, "Well, about 8 years ago, and then 5 years ago at Woodstock." Need I go on?
Yeah, no, don't go on. Can we delete him or whatever it takes?
I can mute
Let's
Ed if you
unfriend
want.
him. We'll unfriend him.
You don't want to unfriend me.
We'll snooze him for 30 days.
You don't want to unfriend me, Shaw, because then you'd have nobody to use your chopsticks on anymore.
Oh yeah, you're my only friend.
It's called comedy violence.
Yeah.
We have our friend Chip says, "Yay, love the coffee house." Chip is actually a good supporter of our comedy and coffee house. And if you come to our coffee house tomorrow, you will hear Jimmy and the Sofa Movers, including Chip and our worship team. Awesome, wonderful music. Chip is an awesome. He sings. He plays a harmonica and he plays an awesome trumpet.
Woo!
He really is. No kidding. No kidding. I admire him. Love to hear his music.
Yeah.
So come and be part of that coffee house, guys.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good.
So,
Well,
yeah.
We got to find a place to get together, though, the three of us. How about Washington, D.C.?
No.
District of Comedy. We fit right in there.
Yeah.
How about in the Capitol building? We'll sneak it. No, forget it.
Can't do that.
If we were in Washington, D.C. would have a complete, whatever. meltdown.
Now, also, guys, January 3rd, I believe it is, we're doing our online virtual comedy show.
Yeah.
And so please check my Facebook, John Peters, putting out promos. And this is something that anybody in the world can watch. Facebook Live, a free online comedy show. We have 5 comedians. So that's coming up. I'm excited. If that goes well, I would like to do at least maybe monthly online virtual shows, maybe weekly. It'd be good to have a weekly comedy show. How about a weekly comedy club, virtual comedy club? Why not?
I'll bring the club. I mean, I hope
you bring the broom. Yeah, we know that.
The club. It's like being a comedian. I mean, I'm a comedian, but that doesn't mean that I'm funny. So I just wanted to let you know about that.
We don't claim to be funny comedians. We just claim to be comedians.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course, I see how it works. I get stabbed and others think it's funny.
Well, if you're bleeding inside, I got a cure for that. They got a Band-Aid.
Swallow a Band-Aid, yeah.
Oh, Band-Aid.
Yeah, have you heard the phrase "cure worse than the disease"?
Yeah. He called you a disease.
And we do
he
enjoy
called you a
pain.
disease, John.
No.
He did.
Yes, and we do enjoy your pain. I hate to say it.
I'm sure you do. But it's okay. It's quite okay because it has taught me that I can persevere and laugh through through anything.
And absolutely, today was a bit of a difficult day, and I was talking with somebody. We were just working through a difficult situation, and suddenly we started to make jokes about it. And guess what? Just let the tension out. Just release the tension. And as bad the situation was, we could laugh about it.
Oh yeah, it was a rough day. My heating thing, the doohickey next to the whatchamacallit broke, which means $2,000. So you know what? Maybe we can move around the altar plate.
Hey, listen. Why don't we do a comedy fundraiser for Ja's
Yes.
compressor?
Yes, a
Uh,
compressor. Yeah.
Send heat.
Yeah. Oh,
Please,
yeah.
I need more heat.
Oh, sure. I'll start doing some of my routines, and then people will pay me to take them down.
There you
I
go.
was just going
Bam.
to say that.
Let's do that. We'll do an anti-comedy show.
No,
Send money and we'll shut up.
Mhm.
if Ed could go, you know, sometimes the church calls for fasting. How about if I do without puns for 3 days?
Yeah. For $10, Ed will shut up for 1 minute. For $20, 2 minutes. Give him $1,000. He'll never do comedy again.
Oh!
Man,
Well, he's
we
never
will
done
raise that money.
He's never done comedy. That doesn't make sense. But you do need subtitles because I don't understand what he's saying. Maybe that's good.
You don't understand Ed. Well, Ed is in a world. He's kind of like me. I'm in my own Johnny world, all by myself. And are you guys enjoying this online, doing comedy online? It's a little bit different. What do you think of it?
It is. It's fun.
As opposed to what? Being in jail? What?
As being in jail, being in a nursing home, being in the hospital. This is good. But there is Zoom etiquette. There's online virtual etiquette. Some people don't know how to position their cameras. I'm going to show you an example. You ready?
Ready?
Oh.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
These are the video conference challenged. You're looking at their nostril hair, their ear hair, their tonsils.
Yeah.
Okay. Back away from the microphone.
I know.
Okay?
One's got to get real close to get Ed's brain.
Well, we put a camera in one ear, was able to look out the other. Ho!
Hey.
Ho! Hey-o.
I mean, I don't. I mean, it's clear to see that I'm on the show with you guys. Yeah.
Ed, do you remember when we did a roast of you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On the Blog Talk Radio show, we did a roast of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you that I had the most fun doing that. And I read over my notes. That is some of the best comedy I ever did was roasting you.
Yeah. Well, I could take it. And then Hal, chimed in, and Johnny, all came and hurt my feelings, So,
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Your feelings were hurt?
Yeah, they're hurt. Yeah.
No way. I find that hard to believe.
What, that you had feelings or that they were hurt?
Not that she has feelings. That anybody could hurt Chaw's feelings.
Yeah. Wow.
Here's Chaw's favorite sandwich, the club sandwich.
The club sandwich. Instead of taking the subway,
this is for real. A year ago, bad tornadoes, swept through Pinellas County and thankfully missed my place. And all the damage. And I wanted to get a notice. And big deal. I had a video chat with Chaw. Just see what happened to my apartment. Kaboom!
I don't know. John, deal with him, okay? Please.
Let's get a T-shirt. I survived 2021 and Chaw.
And Chaw, yeah.
No, I survived 2013, 2016, Woodstock, and numerous comedy.
Yeah. Well, he'll wear that T-shirt until he has to, turn the inside out.
Do you have that shirt on? Show us the shirt. Come on, Ed.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. There we go.
Oh, there's the belly.
You have to tell us what it says. It's so faded out we can't read it.
Yeah. I got to get a new one.
What does it say, Ed? Read it.
Ha, ha, ha. End of bed. Laughter is good best.
Okay. There you go.
Do you need a mirror?
No.
Can you read upside down?
What does your T-shirt say?
He just read it.
I didn't hear it.
Okay.
But read it again.
Entertainment, clean comedy. He will tickle your funny bone. Are you ready for a humor vaccination?
There you go. On the bottom of the screen.
Speaking of humor vaccinations, you hit this whole COVID, like they have all these COVID variants. What if we reported everything like COVID? There's a new variant of the humor deficiency. This one is the most deadly.
I know. They've
How
never
many more
met my
variants?
mother-in-law.
How many
Yeah.
more variants are we going to have before all is said and done? And this is I'm just keeping track. Everyone's supposed to be worse than the other.
Mm-hmm.
At least according to certain individuals whom I don't, and trying to be politically correct, which is to me an oxymoron.
That's true.
I mean,
Well, think about it, Ed.
Nobody, it's always, that's not politically correct. Then what is? Nobody ever tells you what is politically correct.
Oh, you're not listening.
What?
Don't you think they tell?
They never tell you what is.
Or you think it's more like ad hoc? Okay, you can.
Are you going political, Ed? Do I have to snooze you for 30 days? What's going on here?
Yeah.
By the way, on the bottom, we have, if you'd like to see more of Ed the Man, I don't know why, but just in case somebody does, it's on the bottom there.
Those numbers, yeah, see those numbers at the end of that? That's what he wears on his shirt in the back when he's in prison. See, those are this is ID. Here it comes. 1387237.
We have Ed the Med on Fun with Puns. We have Ed the Med 1 on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Check out social media. Cha, where do we find you on? Are you on social media? I don't know if I found stuff on you.
Oh, no.
No? Cha, we got to get some of your stuff on social media.
Can I see
Well, I do, but I don't. But I do want to say once again, Naz.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Do your Naz thing. I have a thing for Naz.
Okay. Monday through Friday, we all get together with comedian Nazareth. He's a well-known comedian. And I do some of the writing, and anyone can do the writing. And these are pretty much non-professional comedians, and they're funny. We'll pose a question and get an answer from that. And there's a contest in that one too. So Live with Naz is Facebook, and it's on 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. And come on in. You can just watch the show and not participate. Whatever you want to do, but it's typing, so you're safe, right, Ed? You're safe. If you're a comedian, it's a great way to sharpen your skills.
Famous last words. You're safe.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's Live with Naz. Yeah.
All right, good. We have this from our friend.
What does roasted end taste like?
What does it's burnt. It's very bitter, burnt, and
what is
southern fried ham.
Oh, I just cooked a ham the other night, by the way.
And it's southern fried ham.
I have some leftovers. Want some?
Okay, well, good. This has actually been a lot of fun, guys. I think we got a lot done. We did some comedy, so some cartoons, investigated the future, shared some needs. So, Lord willing, we'll do this now. Next Thursday is what?
December 23rd. Yeah, I'm going to be out of town next Thursday, so I'm going to.
All right, should we skip next week for Christmas and do the following?
Yeah.
What do you think, Cha?
That's up to you. I've got nothing else to do.
You got nothing to do.
I'm heading up to Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, you really?
I'm going to do my hair. How's that?
You do your hair. All right, we'll skip.
I can go to the desk, get a root canal. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I know all those things.
Yeah.
What girls say when they don't want to go out with you?
No, Ed.
I got a root canal. I'm going to wash my hair.
That's what they say. No, Ed.
Well, this one guy, I almost had so I'm going to get this date with this beautiful gal. So, well, she's turned you down several times, but last time she said no for the last time.
Oh yeah, I understand that. That's concerning.
I'm glad you understand that because
math and I are just no. I can't do math, and in fact, when I was little, they wouldn't let me play hopscotch because that entailed math for me. So I'm really bad with numbers.
Okay, and on that note, I think we'll sign out. So we'll skip next week. We'll redo this for the last time for this year, the next Thursday, then reboot again for 2022. Okay. So you guys stay funny. Also look for our online virtual comedy show January 3rd. I'll be on my Facebook, John Peters, or Love and Laugh Facebook. All right. So we're good. Good job, guys. We'll see you next time on the Love and Laugh Joycast. God bless.
God bless.
Bye.